Hello, guys. Welcome, and hello, and welcome, and hello. My name is Danny Deals, and you are watching Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more information about stocks, investing, all things financial. Today, of course, is Monday, June the 19th, 2023. Time's about 4:30 p.m. out here in beautiful sunny Los Angeles. Of course, markets were closed today for the holiday, and we would like to say a sincere hello and hello. Guys, you might be wondering, why am I breaking my weekend of silence to come in on a holiday and give you an update on the SoFi stock? Well, guys, I have an absolute blockbuster for you. Probably the biggest news since SoFi bought the rights to the stadium, bigger than SoFi getting the bank charter. This is probably the biggest news since SoFi became a public company, bigger than the acquisition of Galileo or Technesis. And I have the exclusive. I have an exclusive with Anthony Noto. I have an exclusive with Stock Karen. I'm trying to get Hurricane Lopez. I'm trying to wake him up. So far, no luck there. But guys, this is epic. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. Don't want to beat around the bush anymore. No, it's not an upgrade from strong arm trading to $13.75. That news already broke, guys. Already raised my target. While other analysts are slashing. But SoFi, if you're used to coming to this screen and seeing SOFI, guys, if you're used to typing in the ticker SOFI, guys, you see it, not there, above this shoulder here, SOFI. Guys, get ready because the name is changing. We are no longer going to see SoFi. Guys, everything changes tomorrow. The ticker symbol changes, your app changes, everything changes, and SoFi will henceforth be known as SoFuD, ticker symbol SFUD. And oh my God, this is sending earthquakes throughout the investment community. The name is actually perfect. It captures the essence of how the markets, how the analysts handle SoFi or soon to be SoFuD. This is probably bigger news than when Facebook changed its name to Meta, just because nobody's really interested in Facebook or what Mark Zuckerberg does. It's very, very boring. He's probably just buying up Hawaii and getting $6 haircuts, folks, and learning jujitsu and all that stuff. He's actually pretty good at jujitsu. That kind of surprised me. But anyway, I saw footage of him. He can roll. But anyway, guys, SoFuD. So if you're looking for your stock tomorrow, you wonder when will your broker change it over. It goes on a broker by broker basis. Depends on the exchanges. You might wonder, guys, why would SoFi make this move? Well, SoFi is trying to basically preempt the analysts, the financial media, because it's pretty clear that anytime the company rallies or has a good earnings report, you're going to see just massive, massive quantities of FUD from the analysts, from the financial media. So SoFi decided to just preempt everybody, take the power of the word away. Take the power of the FUD away and just name the company SoFuD. We're still going to provide the high interest rates. We're still going to provide the products. We're still going to have the wheel strategy where we bring customers in, sell them a variety of products. We're still going to be expanding. We're still going to have Galileo, which will still go under the name Galileo. That's going to be the Amazon Web Services of fintech. All that's the same, guys. Just the name is going to now be SoFuD. And you can see the reason why, guys, with the downgrades. Like, since when do analysts take it upon themselves to actually control the price of the stock? I've never seen three analysts come out and just at the same exact time, literally a month after earnings, just when a stock is running, finally getting some momentum, finally getting near fair value. All three analysts coordinate downgrades that are not even downgrades. And you see Seeking Alpha, which I really like this site, but they have a balance, guys, at least. SoFi Technologies, savvy banking giant in the making. Penguins arrive far too early. I totally agree. The penguins being these analysts that follow, but then sell, buy, sell, strong buy, strong. So guys, SoFi is ticking on all cylinders. There's so many good catalysts coming up, student loans coming back, and the company was already doing quite well before student loans, their personal loans. But what do you hear, guys, in the media? It's nothing but FUD. Let me take you over to these downgrades. See, when you read the media, let me just give you a for instance, guys. Of course, Motley Fool's pumping SoFi like nonstop, but The other companies like Bloomberg, okay, which is one of the most widely read, SOFI falls as trio of bullish analysts retreat after rally. Now, if you read that headline, you'd think they downgraded their price targets. That's not what happened. They actually increased their price targets, but downgraded the rating from a buy to a hold, even though they're actually increasing the price targets. It seemed like the latter should matter a lot more than the former. Guys, sorry I'm getting worked up. SoFi stock gets downgraded again. Analysts say it's come too far too fast. Guys, even the guy from Oppenheimer, that little chipmunk, he said, like, he did a calculation, the top of the fair value's 9. The stock is running with momentum, finally breaking out from a $4.50 to $8 range where it's traded undervalued for the last, 17 months or whatever. And, these analysts come out and take it upon themselves to say, hey, the stock's running too far. We think the fair value is up to $9, but because it's finally to $9, I'm going to put an $8 rating and a hold, and I'm going to downgrade it. And then Bank of America, guys, I mean, they actually upped their price target from $9.50 to $10. That is not a downgrade. These are faux downgrades, guys. It's a FUD grade. It's a down FUD. It's a FUD turd. And then Kevin Barker from Piper Sandler, they were at $6.50 in a buy, and he downgraded to $8 in a hold. Again, not a downgrade. But if you read the financial media, analyst downgrade, slashing, 3 analysts cutting their, it's not, these are not cuts. Dominic Gabriel from Oppenheimer, I think they lowered $1. On what basis, I have no idea. When I listened to his interview on CNBC, it's all systems ahead. He loves the stock. He's like, but we just worry. His only worry is execution. And then he goes on to say how great management is and how well they're executing. Well, why are you so worried about execution after several years of flawless execution under extremely challenging circumstances? Circumstances get better for the company, and all of a sudden now you're worried about execution when the goddamn Titanic was sinking. Management patched the hole, got the ship sailing again, got everyone safely to port. You weren't worried then. You smarmy chipmunk turd. And guys, I'm not bitter. Do you hear the chia pet at Wedbush? His target's not even up here. He has a tradition in his house where, if his son, excuse me, guys, we drink some tap water out of a dirty McDonald's coffee cup, keeping it classy. But guys, when the Chia Pet's son comes home with a report card, they have a family tradition. Every single time for years and years, the kid got straight A's. He's a genius. I mean, listen, he's the offspring of the Chia Pet. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, guys. He's going to be a pretty bright bulb. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Nudge, nudge. That's the word. No. Got that uncle. He's like, anyway, he always tells bad jokes. But the Chia Pet, his son brings home straight A's every time. 5 A's, $20 an A. It's a nice, crisp $100 bill. Okay, makes sense, right, guys? So one time, though, after giving 10 solid $100 bills for the straight A's, the son's thinking, oh, everything's good. I'm hitting on all cylinders, still achieving. Every time I perform well, my dad, the Chia Pet, is fair to me. He gives me a fair rating, praise if I deserve it. I'm sure he would give me scorn if I deserve that, but I don't because I'm overperforming. So my dad always gives me that $100, $20 an A, just like we agreed. And okay, this time I got straight A's again. Dad's going to be happy. Dad's going to reward me. Dad's going to give me good marks. Dad's going to give me high praise. Dad's going to give me that crisp, clean C note. And I'm probably going to go invest that in some SoFi. Maybe that's why Dad's so bitter. Maybe it's because Mom doesn't want to touch it. I don't know. I digress, guys. But okay, so this time the Chia Pet gets the report card in his pasty, sweaty, dishonest, mischievous hands. Hey, oh my God, $20 out the window. Hey, oh, jeez. No, no. He's like, oh God, we did it again. He got all A's. I'm going to have to reward him. That's how this works. He performed. I have to grade him fairly. I have to live up to my side of the bargain, my side of the social contract, perform, reward him, be honest, and give him that mark. But then, the mind gets to working. The mind gets to working. He's like, what if Junior here didn't get these A's at all? What if he bribed the secretary in the principal's office to change his grade after the fact? If that didn't work, maybe he's in cahoots with his teacher. Maybe they have a system where they're grading everything on a fake curve and it's all going to come crashing down and his grades are going to be revised downward. Maybe they're going to have to throw out the whole grading system altogether and go to a pass fail. Then where will my son be? Probably be failing. This whole report card doesn't mean anything. He's like, dear God, I wonder if this is even my son at all. Oh my God, I'm not paying this kid. And he puts the $100 bill back in his wallet, puts his wallet back in his pocket, backs up. His son is standing there, hands out. The mom's giving him a kiss on the cheek. The Chia Pet kicks his son as hard as he can in both testicles. Gets both testicles with the one shot. The son doubles over in pain. He's like, Dad, why would you do that? I got straight A's. And he's like, yeah, I know you did, son, but what if you become a drug addict and become an arch criminal and kill me and your mother and burn the house down for insurance money? And what if you get... And he's like just spinning this crazy yarn of what ifs, and his son's doubled over for him and kicking him in the nuts. And what does Chia Pet do? Does he apologize and help his son and realize he was just imagining a bunch of crazy what if hypotheticals that haven't come to pass? There's no evidence they ever will come to pass. No, no, no. He sneaks around behind his son and the mom's trying to help him. Son, okay. He's like, yeah, Bobby. He's like, and Chia Pet stabs his own son in the back, strategically in the kidney, so he bleeds out slowly. And then as he's dying from that wound, he comes in and he looks at the report card again. He's like, oh, I see erasure marks on this. He's like, dude, I didn't erase, I worked hard. I got straight A's. I love you. He's like, bleed. He's like, and all the Chia Pet can think is more reasons why he can't trust that straight A's. And he's looking, his son is dead, dying on the ground. His wife is bawling, why? Why? And all he's thinking is, they finally changed the name to SoFuD. And the reason they changed the name to SoFuD, guys, sorry I got a little bit off track there, is because it makes it easier for the analysts. They have to spread all this FUD. They have to spread it through the financial media, get it up on Google, get it up on the search engines. Frankly, it's a lot of effort. It costs them a lot of money. And Anthony Noto believes in customer service, even if those customers are dishonest turd analysts in the media. He's like, even though we achieve record EBITDA, we still find that some analysts trying to spread FUD lies and disinformation about us are having trouble being heard. So even though we hate to sleep with the enemy here, we are going to go ahead and change our name to SoFuD. Just make it easier for... Of course not, guys. Of course SoFi is not changing its name to SoFuD. That would be absolutely ridiculous. But so is downgrading SoFi to $2.50. And so is downgrading SoFi because the company is doing well and the stock is running. Remember, guys, these analysts that said we were beating bears with a stick when the stock was down at $4, I didn't hear any of that. I didn't hear three analysts come out in timing in unison when the stock was dropping back below $6 on the last good earnings report and then below $5 on the last good earnings report. The only analyst with any balls to actually confront the Chia Pet was touchdown Danny Dolev from Mizuho. He was the only one who came out and just didn't say, I disagree. He said, you know, this guy's flat out wrong on the facts, on his analysis, and under scrutiny, his logic doesn't even make any sense. And then note after note from the Chia Pet, we get these three strategic downgrades that are not downgrades from Oppenheimer, Piper Sandler, Bank of America doing everything they can to kill this rally. Guys, is it going to work? No. Okay, what are the two big pieces of FUD right now, guys? Insider selling, which, you know, you can't argue with that, guys. Insiders sold. Insiders sold some shares. Recently, it's been 4 transactions selling 4.75 million and 12 transactions buying 1.11 million. And that was probably mostly all Anthony Noto. Guys, these aren't popping up right now, but the if you look at the, okay, there they are. The insider sales, the president of the subsidiary, Chad Borden, I think, is he president of Galileo? I'm not sure. But he sold 285,000. He still retains 230,000 shares. So, you know, he's got like $2 million worth of stock. He sold between a third and a quarter of his stock. Webster Aaron sold 862. He retains 600,000 shares. Wouldn't that be nice, guys? Just have $5 million worth of SoFi stock laying around. You got a $5 million worth of SoFi stock, everybody. You got touchdown Bobby Levitt, who's the secretary. Even the secretary has 1.35 million shares worth over maybe $10 million. So he sold 600,000 worth. You guys see the theme here, guys. Derek White sold a little bit more of his stake, but basically, guys, these guys are selling some of their stock. If you look over here at the actual chart, you can see the buys come in real heavy down here in the fours and fives. Guys, these are all buys down here. The sales only come at the peaks, guys. The sales only come at the peaks. That was SoftBank dumping, and then you had Robert Levitt, and these are the recent ones. And then over here you have some dumping, and then over here you have that recent dumping um, just in the last little while. I don't know why my chart has freaked out. But then let's take a look at the short, guys. The short, I think, has been relatively flat. Yeah, 68. So 12% of the short interest, so free 21%. 166 million. So that's come down just a bit. Days to cover has come way down from 7 to 3.4. Cost to borrow 0.93. And utilization at 73% has also come down. It's gone up in the last 3 months, but it's come down in the last couple of weeks. So, guys, what do we expect to happen next with the SoFi stock? It's basically going to go one of two ways. I believe if the stock is going to consolidate, it's going to consolidate in this blue channel from about $8.90 to about $8.11 or 12 cents. I believe this is going to be a key level of support right in here at about $8.12. I think once the stock cracked that $8 mark, you saw consistent buying pressure over here. Guys, let's take a look. Here's $8. Basically, the stock came up on 6.6. This is actually 6.7. So the stock's coming up, test $7.75. This is when the stock was stepping up in 25-cent increments, if you remember all my riveting videos. And then basically what happened is the stock came up, touched $8 and was rejected once. So then on 6.7 again comes up, touch $8, rejected for the third time. Come all the way out here to 6.8, stock pushes up above $8 finally, but is somewhat rejected and then comes along, pushes back below $8 and then finally breaks through, guys. But we have a false breakout at that point. It's not really breaking out, it's just kind of trading upward and sideways. Comes back down, does a double test here actually, 1, 2. This is about the $8.06 level. Pushes back up to $8.20, comes down, tests again, $8.12. Comes down, tests again. So this would actually be the fourth time. I haven't labeled 1, 2. I'm just counting this as one test. Again, guys, we get a false breakout all the way up here to $8.75 approximately. Stock, they push it back down, sells back off, finds a little bit of support at $8.50 there as a little check mark pattern, then trades all the way back down again to that like $8.12 level, pushes back up to $8.35, and then again all the way back down. I don't know exactly what that is, 8.12, 8.13, but so we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 tests of that level before we actually finally see the true breakout above the $8 level that I believe is going to last. Now, what's going to stop us from actually breaking down below the $8 level? Well, I mean, nothing, but I just believe that's a huge pivot point. I'm convinced by this breakout. And why am I convinced by this breakout, guys? I'm convinced by this breakout for one reason. That reason is volume, guys. Rallies do not die on extremely heavy volume. You have to see the rally, you have to see the volume slow significantly for market makers, sharks, turds, hedge funds, country club golf hustlers, grifters, and just general yellow bellies and ne'er-do-wells to the Guy Caballeros of the world to come back and take control of the stock. Guys, when they had complete control of the stock, some days it would trade 25 million shares. Some days it would trade 35. Some days it would trade as much as 50 million shares, guys. But it wasn't trading 100 million shares a day. So look at the last 5 days, 118 million, 108 million, 128. That's when you think the rally's dead, comes back to 97. Oh no, friends, jumps back up to 108 million shares on Friday, guys. That's not how rallies end. On average volume of 50 million, you have $1 billion worth of churn there, guys. How much of that is shorts being returned? I mean, I don't know. We could take a look, but if it was shorts covering, we would expect to see basically the price go up. But that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing dumping, we're seeing you know, we're seeing basically the stock get stepped on every which way but loose, not only from the analysts, not only from the media, but we're seeing dumping. We're not seeing a huge reshort here, but we're not seeing shorts cover in mass as you might expect. So, what do I expect here, guys? Basically, I think this point right about here at $8.91. That has been both a point of support and resistance. So I see two critical pivot points, guys, post breakout if we're going to sustain this breakout. One is right here in this $8.12, $8.13 region. And the next is up here where I've labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 4 is where this appears to have flipped. You notice when we run all the way up here to the $9.50 level, we come back, we retest. Where do we find support? Where do we find buyers? Convincingly coming back into the stock right there, 891, 892. We run all the way up above here, $10.23, whatever it is, come back down. We find support here around the $9.40 mark. And then we basically fall off a cliff, gap way down. Where do we find support, guys? Around that $8.92 mark. Run back up, fall down like a lead weight, guys. Where do we find buyers coming back into the stock? That $8.92 mark. Push up, push all the way back down. I don't know really why we stopped at 850 other than it's just 850, and obviously those become natural pivot points, those big round numbers. Nothing really on the chart special about 850, guys. Push back up again, and this time, instead of being support, that $8.92 area, 891, 892, now becomes resistance. So this flips. So that point that was critical support 3 times in a row in just a couple of days, right there becomes resistance, and it just sells off hard into the afternoon. So guys, I see two scenarios from here. Which one is more likely depends a lot on the market and depends a lot on the narrative the media creates. I would like to see a lot of pushback out of Jeffries, out of Mizuho, out of the company itself, out of the financial media, just people that are saying, this is a false narrative. There's no reason to step on this rally yet. The $8 or $9 level is not an insanely rich valuation, guys. Look at companies like Palantir, CrowdStrike. Look at where companies like Carvana were trading, Teladoc, Zoom. These are nothing like these valuations, guys. And the growth and the execution is there, and it wasn't just a COVID fluke. If anything, that probably hurt these guys. They reinvented the wheel. They did it all without breaking a sweat. And now analysts want to rename the company SoFuD just to make it easier for them to step on rallies. If the stock ever gets a penny beyond what they consider fair value, they just want to knock it down a peg. They just want to take it down a peg, just bring it right back down to earth. They feel like it's running a bit too fast, feel like it's getting a little out ahead of its skis. Just want to bring it down. Just want to take it down a little bit. Guys, I've got news for you turds. Rallies do not end on $100 million volumes, guys. This is not how rallies end. Like, look at how puny this volume is out here. When you see people coming into the stock, money coming into the stock, it ran right up to 772 right there and topped out about, oh, I don't know, is that right around $8.12? Somewhere in there. Sold back off, guys. This is all in mediocre volume, mediocre volume. And then what do you see, guys? Huge volume coming into the stock. This line of support becomes critical. What are we going to do, guys? It's going to go one of two ways. We're either going to consolidate here between 812 and 891, or we're going to resume the rally and we're going to break back up above that $10.23 or whatever it was, the high that we made the other day. What's more likely, guys? That's really anybody's guess. That depends on market forces a lot bigger than SOFI. Not just market makers, not just FUD, but also when the Supreme Court decision comes out, that's going to be a great catalyst for the stock potentially, but probably whatever happens, the media is going to turn that into FUD. Try to bring the SOFI stock, pardon me, back down below $8. Guys, I don't think that's going to work. There's a lot of reasons I could explain to you, but it's market mechanics. I'm looking at the volume. I'm looking at the timeline to profitability. And the timeline to profitability right now could be as little as 1 quarter, guys. Remember, we're already almost done with Q2. We only have less than 2 weeks left in Q2 proper. So we're going to see another ER in like, 6 weeks or less. And then I don't think we're going to see net gap profit this quarter, Q2, but I think we could very easily see a net gap profit Q3 as a lot of people move to refi student loans in advance. Particularly, guys, with the Federal Reserve just announcing that they could potentially do 2 more rate hikes this year, just depending what happens. That gives people all the more incentive to go ahead and refinance their student loans now. It also gives people a lot more incentive to refi their mortgage if they got a mortgage recently, if they got a mortgage at a high interest rate, perhaps an adjustable rate. Maybe that puts a little more fear into them. I think a lot of folks expected that the Fed was just going to be done cutting and it was going to maintain interest rates steady for a few months and that inflation was going to come down, the economy was going to steadily weaken, and we wouldn't have any more increases. But guys, the this stock market rally I think put a whole new spin on things. I think it makes Jerome Powell very, very nervous whether they've gone far enough. So if we see 2 more quarter point hikes later this year, I think that changes a lot of the dynamics. I think it brings a lot of customers into play for SoFi. It increases that total addressable market of student loan borrowers. Remember, LaPointe has that number at about $200 million in loan originations. And that guy knows numbers like the back of his hand. He's a freaky genius. Don't let his sort of unassuming soccer dad appearance fool you. I mean, it looks like Matt Lauer, but the guy's a killer. He's a killer. In any case, guys, that's a SoFi stock, ticker symbol SOFI. It's going to be SoFi for one more day. Remember to set your clocks ahead for Groundhog Day. And as you know, on Groundhog Day, the SoFi ticker symbol changes over to SoFuD. Ticker symbol will be SFUD. And remember, you can't spell fake downgrade without FUD, guys. You just put a U in there. Just you and me, but right between there, FUD, fake downgrade. That's when you step on a rally for no reason, but you want to have this God complex and your colleagues down the hall are short the stock and you don't like to see them lose money and neither does your boss. So you go ahead and do a fake downgrade while increasing your price target. You don't want the ridicule. You just want to step on the rally. You just want to put the brakes on. You just want to cool things off. You just want to be that wet blanket, that stick in the mud, that sea blocker. You just want to do what you have to do to make sure that no one else has any fun, guys. You are the turd in the punch bowl, and that's what these 3 analysts are. They're not dishonest and total, just complete corrupt turds like the Chia Pet from Wedbush. They're selling a new product, by the way. If you like the Pet Rock and Mr. Potato Head, get ready for the Chia Pet #2. You think it's going green. It tells you it's going green on the box, but then it starts to go green. It kind of suckers you into watering it, put your water, put your resources, and then it all just turns red, and then it turns to a massive turd. Also, from the makers of Nerds Candy, there's a new candy coming out. It's called Turds. It smells like turds. It tastes like turds. In fact, they are turds, only smaller. They fit into a box with those 2 little flippers, like the Nerds where you get the 2 colors, but the turds, it only comes out in 1 color. Guys, I'm still workshopping a lot of these ideas. I don't know if that's going to be a big seller. Nobody really wants a candy that tastes and looks like, and in fact is poop. But I feel like it might be popular with the Wedbush office. We're going to stock the vending machines over there with turds and old coffee, and I think that might cheer the guys over there up because I think they run on turds and old coffee over there. Guys, I'm a little bit loopy. It's a Monday afternoon. It is 5 p.m. out here. Topper time check, 5 p.m. out in beautiful Los Angeles. It's June 19th, 2023. I have been rambling on endlessly for, a good half hour now, and I think that's more than long enough. But remember, guys, if you're used to going to SoFi.com tomorrow, surf on over to SFUD.com. And remember, you can't spell fake downgrade. You can't spell FU Wedbush without FUD. So, guys, that's the SoFi stock. The ticker symbol remains SOFI. And I remain your humble servant, Danny Deals. Thank you for watching Un Poco Mas. I'm just overjoyed that you were able to join us. It makes me so happy. It just makes me so happy. I can't believe you're here. I can't believe you made it. Guys, SoFi stock. Let's see what happens. I think it's either going to go up or it's going to go down or it's going to go sideways. I know that Almost for sure. You guys have a good night. I will talk at you tomorrow morning on my live stream, but none of you turds are probably going to get up and watch it, you ungrateful bastards. Thanks a lot.